So hey everyone, today's guest is Hutton Swinglehurst from OneClickCover, and OneClickCover is a very innovative MGA, and as the name says, they have kind of simplified the insurance to the extreme. But I think it's better to give word to Hutton, who will fill us in what actually you are doing, and maybe a short background about yourself as well.
Well, Risto, thank you very much for that. And yes, delighted to be asked to talk about OneClickCover and the problem that we're trying to solve and how we've gone about that. My background was originally in finance, in investment banking, and then I moved into insurance about 10 or so years ago. And not specifically in the home insurance sector, which is where OneClickCover operates, but I got involved with using data for risk pricing, and that was really the genesis of the OneClickCover idea. And what we're trying to achieve with OneClickCover is to take the rather laborious, lengthy, confusing process in the UK of buying home insurance online, and where you have to answer sometimes 30 or 40 questions, and trying to distill that into something where in fact there are no questions asked at all, because we use data about the property and the occupants of the property to price the risk. And then once we've done that, to create the full policy fulfillment ecosystem that allows the customer to buy a policy and have all of their documentation within about 60 seconds. So that's really what, that was the problem that we were trying to find the solution for. And I think there has to be a problem in the first place in order for a solution to be successful. There are often plenty of people who come up with so-called solutions, but in fact there's really no real problem underlying them. I think once we solved the issue of trying to get making the customer journey as quick and simple as possible for the customer, we've opened up more opportunities for the customer, because another feature of the UK home insurance market is that customers often remain with the same insurer for a number of years. They don't shop around as much as they should, because the process of shopping around is too laborious. It's too painful, frankly, to go and spend 40 minutes of your life trying to find a quote. Whereas with our business model and our process, you can get a quote in just a few seconds. And so that makes looking around and shopping around for a better deal, if you come to us, a lot simpler and faster.
Yeah. So it seems to be that the problem is there and the solution is there as well by you. So maybe you can shortly elaborate like both of these sides. First, the problem. So how did you actually spot the problem? Was it because you were insurance and you understand that it was really messy, or you as a customer were really kind of bored of filling in these lengthy forms? So where did your problem kind of radar actually put red light on that we have a serious problem here, what I should certainly start solving?
Interesting, Risto. I'd say it was a combination of both of those things. It was firstly work that I was doing at the time in the insurance sector. Was around, at the time I was doing something around flood risk, and actually creating a data model, a risk model that used data for pricing flood risk. That gave me exposure to the home insurance industry in the UK and a lot of the large players. And I realized pretty quickly that they were all going about things in the same way, and they hadn't changed the way they priced risk in any great major way for many, many years. And, they were still sending these very, lengthy question sets for customers to fill out. And in fact, the arrival of the price comparison sites, the PCWs, made the situation worse, because PCW is about having as many insurers providing prices as you can to make the price for the customer as low and competitive as possible. But if you have, say, 200 insurers trying to offer home insurance to a customer, they all have slightly different questions that they want to ask, but you can't. And so as a result, these question lists got longer and longer as more insurers were trying to offer prices and had their own particular idiosyncratic questions that they wanted to ask, whether that was about an alarm or how far you are from a watercourse, or even what percentage of your roof is flat. All of these things, which are really confusing and painful for the customer to answer rather. So that's and then combined with my own personal experience of trying to get just a price, just a quote. You get a letter from your insurer telling you your home insurance is up for renewal. They tell you the price, and you want to be able to kind of compare that with something, quickly and easily. And the fact is, it was really very difficult and painful and impossible to get a quick comparison price, easily in a matter of seconds. It would take at least 30, 40 minutes. So that was really where how I arrived at the problem, if you like. And then from the work I'd done before, I could also see that the solution lay in using, data that had not necessarily been used by the insurance industry before. So we took a slightly different perspective and used partners that had expertise in providing data to property professionals about specific residential properties, and that's where we started to assemble the database or the risk pricing model that now has more than 400 different data sources contributing to it.
Okay, makes completely sense. Now we have also seen your product. It all seems really simple and straightforward, but I know that your let's say journey to the product and what you have achieved so far hasn't really been walk in the park. So it's always it seems simple and nice. But what you would like to say maybe to other entrepreneurs who have a similar idea? I want to create a new MGA and I would like to take some kind of innovative angles. So what has been maybe, let's say, the mountains that you need to climb, and some good advice to the fellow entrepreneurs?
Well, I think, as I alluded to earlier, I think it is important to make sure you are solving a real life problem that other people can identify. I don't think it's good enough just to create a product that does something differently to other people. I don't think being different is necessarily enough. I think you really, to be compelling, you really have to have a solution to a problem that exists and is identifiable. I think it's very important to find the right partners to work with, especially when you're starting out. And we've been very fortunate at OneClickCover to have great partners such as Inslee, because there will be hills and mountains to climb, and you will need to bring those partners along with you, and they will need to kind of share the vision with you as well, because there will be difficult moments that will require kind of collective and collaborative horsepower. I think one thing that's important is that you need to be very patient as an entrepreneur, and you need to be persistent. I think patience, persistence, and don't panic. So kind of 3 Ps there. Things will not go to plan. That is a given. And people may insist on a beautiful business plan that marks out the future for the next few years, but I can assure you it ain't gonna finish that way. It will be a difficult journey.
Yeah.
And I think, so I would say be patient, and also to be, not to panic. I think Juan Manuel Fangio used to say that racing drivers had to have extremely fast reactions, but they also had to have slow hands. And I would recommend that. You need to react quickly, but without panicking. And in order to kind of really analyze the situation and to solve the problem, you need to really think clearly and patiently. So I think that would be my advice to entrepreneurs setting out for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm. And maybe like a short follow-up question to that. I know that you are not completely self-funded. You also have some investors. And how do you explain that patience to investors? Because they usually want, let's say, really specifically when they are kind of VC type of investor, then they want really fast return. And I know myself that in insurance business, sometimes it's not coming as fast. Also in other businesses. But how would you address that patience with your investors? Maybe some advice on that topic as well.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good point. I would say that first of all, you have to explain, from the onset, and I think you have to be realistic with them about timescales and what is and what isn't achievable. But I think most importantly, I think you have to demonstrate kind of clearly identifiable milestones that you can achieve. So within that overall timescale, I mean, it may not mean that is, everybody's looking for profitability, right? So, for an investor, especially a VC investor, they're looking for profitability. They're looking for their exit. Now, before you can get to that point, you need to demonstrate that you've got, that the business has moved on. So whilst they may think it takes a long time, you need to be able to demonstrate that, in fact, what's been achieved over the last couple of quarters or whatever it may be is clearly identifiable and has increased value, the value of the business. I mean, another tip that I would give to entrepreneurs is a lot of people say, well, raise as much money as you possibly can when you can. My advice would be rather different. Mine would be raise as little money as you possibly can when you can. And to do that, you need to raise what you need, get you through the next 6 months or whatever your time scale is, and then make sure that at the end of that 6 months you've demonstrated some real benefit and increase in value in the business. Because then, when you need to go out and raise some more money, you can say, look, this is what we did, this is what we said we were going to do, we did it, we've uplifted the value of the business, and we need some more money to take it forward. And I think, we've managed to do that with OneClickCover. We've done 4 rounds of funding now, and we've increased the value significantly every time by showing that we've actually achieved, and hit great milestones, along the way. But yeah, it is, we're fortunate. We have, we don't have any VC investors at this stage. We have private individuals, or family offices who, understand that, when it comes to insurance, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Thank you very much, Hutton. I think it has been really pleasure working with you, and I think you are a good inspiration to other entrepreneurs as well. So now I would like to give a few words also to our sales manager, Märtin Kosk, who will explain how we actually helped you in your journey from our perspective. So again, thank you very much, and over to Märtin.
Thanks, Risto. So in OneClickCover's case, it all really started with the data. As Hutton mentioned, they had access to a property risk database in the UK with a lot of information, and on top of it, they added their own underwriting guidelines. And once they had all of that on paper, they needed to build this into an online rating engine that could go through all those 400 data points and return the price to the customer quickly. Also, it needed to plug into OneClickCover's website, as well as be white labeled for any potential distribution partners. Because INSEE had a lot of experience with rating engines, we were able to help out with that. That said, you can't run an underwriting business only with a rating engine. So you also need something for the policy fulfillment, something that creates the documents, something that transacts the payments, transports those documents to the customer, and ultimately you need a policy management system where that data gets stored. So you can report it back to your capacity providers if you're an MGA. So if you're looking for a solution to launch a product like OneClickCover did, then look for solutions that have those building blocks available, and be mindful of any API capabilities which might let you plug in other things that you need.